Bill, thank you so much for being here. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Everybody has just been off the chart. They all rushed the stage for you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for being here.
It's an honor to be here. I mean, just realize that these events you come to are not about the speakers. They're about the audience. They're about all the connections you have right next to you. Everyone thinks that they got to go connect with the speaker right away. Realize sometimes just 2 minutes with the person next to you or someone you don't know could be worth your whole trip here. You know, I met some great folks from Sacramento and a bunch from San Francisco that we're going to do epic stuff together, right? With events like this, be willing to play full out with new people. Find ways to create value for the new guest you have here, right? Go out of your way to realize that these events are not easy to put on. She worked her ass off and her team worked, right? She said 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. It was probably more like 20 hours. They were still working last night at 10:30, 11 o'clock when we were out there trying to figure out some of the programs for today and what needs to be added to it. And see, that's what we don't ever see. We don't see the behind-the-scenes stuff that does this and makes it happen. But when you show up, come in and play full out. Come in and don't just try to pass your cards out to connect with people. Go connect with people. Go meet with them face-to-face for 1 or 2 minutes, right? Go find out what they're doing and see how you can help them. Because the minute they know they come for service, that you're there to help them with nothing in return, it actually opens a gateway of possibility that in my life, if I didn't learn that process, it took me probably till I was in, 35 years old, till I realized that when you start paying it forward first, anything can open the door for you, right? I was in a movie called Pass It On, Pay It Forward, but it's the same thing. When you come to an event like this and you get a chance to be a part of something that Jennifer Baker's doing and their team is doing, you want to show up, you want to support it, but you want to come from the place where, can I make a few good connections here that can really change my life and where I'm going? You know, and even if that person may not be the person that's going to make that decision or make that change, it could be one person they know. I mean, I think about it, right? I introduced Alex Stern to a lot of my friends that do a lot of these events, right? Because of that, he lectured at Harvard. Because of that, he got on these Habitude conferences all over the country, right? Because of that, he's met so many new people. But if he never showed up, it never would have happened. And he said, Bill, wherever you need me, right, I'll be there. We did an event in Boston and 4,000 people there, and this guy walks up to me after my presentation. He said, yeah, it was a great presentation. I got a lot of great notes, 3 pages of notes. He said, I think it's awesome, that you would say that. Thank you very much. He said, well, I see you always talking about this company called Constant Contact. I said, I'm a customer. I like it. I've served them. I've been a customer for 7 years. He said, well, do they pay you for that? And I said, no. I said, I just love the service. And he said, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm actually one of the co-founders of Constant Contact. I'm like, no shit, right? I'm like, sit down for a minute, right? We had dinner that night. We had lunch the next day. We've been great friends ever since. He knows he can call me for anything, anytime, anywhere, and I'll pick up his call even though it's unscheduled, right? And I feel the same way. I ask Alec, can you check these guys, meet these guys? He's like, Bill, whatever you want, I'm there. And I think that's all about building great relationships. And that's what you're doing here, right? You're getting a chance to network with great people. And once again, Jennifer and the team making this happen doesn't happen by accident. You're not here by accident, right? You got up early, you showed up. And you're playing full out all day. And I think that's where the magic happens. The magic happens from the people you meet here. And if I never called Alec back, we probably would have zero relationship. But I knew for a fact that he was doing great things, right? And if I could connect with him somehow and create value in his life first, and this is the mistake that we make, is that we always want to talk about what we're going to sell. I got this or I got that. The way to connect is help them market what they're doing. When I met a guy named Mark Victor Hansen, he was already on my list, right? And we tried to connect, and it didn't work. And sure enough, we had a little power lunch in Chicago that I threw for him and his team. They sold all their books. He said, I don't know who you are. He said, I don't know how you did all this. He said, but you and I, we're going to do a lot of business together. And that's how I want you to feel about this. That's what Jen has really created here, right? She's created an ecosystem, a club, an organization that can all connect. But once again, that fortune's in the follow-up. So I want to say thanks for having me, first of all.
You're welcome.
And I love you guys, and thanks for coming out today and being a part of this. I wish I could stay for tomorrow for the big party. We got a big event at dinner in Vegas tonight, and then we do an event tomorrow night in Miami. So it's a little crazy, the schedule, but it's worth it. Got to come to the next event that she puts on. You're going to love it. Anytime Jennifer Baker has an event, you have to be there. I just know that. And if you guys could help support it, that'd be awesome. We're always looking for more volunteers for these kind of events.